Hi, this is Zach here with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 27th of June. Starting with the FTSE 100, where getting up to 8,300 was about as much as it could do, which is obviously disappointing. And we're back near the 50-day line area, 82.20. We don't want to break below the floor of that rising trend channel from December, 82.05. Otherwise, there's the risk of a move down to the 81.20 area, worst case at the moment. And I suppose, given the political situation, worst case is something which is a movable feast. The worst case at the moment, though, 80.40, 80.50, which was that original April resistance for this market. We need that end of day close through 8,300. However unlikely it looks at the moment, it's relatively unlikely given the way that the RSI has fallen below the neutral 50 level to stand at 48. And also we've had a double RSI failure in the 50s, which tends to be a very negative signal. So let's see if that pans out. Moving on to the DAX, and here trying to maintain that rising trend channel from back in September. The level there around 18,100. Obviously, we'd like to see this market break 18,300 in the 50-day line, but at the moment, the RSI below 50, it's just under 45, and so there's the risk of a test of support, at least down to the May support area, 17,800, even if we then head back up again. On to the Dow, and here, a bit of jiggery pokery, but at least the moves here are above the 50-day line there, 38,700, and the floor of that rising trend channel, so that leaves scope for an assault on 40,000 again, hopefully sometime next month. If we do break down, then not looking for anything lower than 38,000, which is basically May support and late April support as well for this market. RSI still on the right side of 50 at 54. Now on to Bitcoin, which has been the villain of the piece, one can say. We have had a brief rebound from below 60,000, but doesn't look very convincing. Recent resistance up to around 62,500, and while we're below that, looking for potentially a move down to the 200-day moving average, 57,600, and even that March support line projection at 56,600. RSI near the oversold area. We went into oversold, but we bounced back above it, but not very convincingly so far. If we do break through 62.5, then it's up to the 50-day line at best, 66,500. Moving on to gold, and here the picture also perhaps what we didn't want to see. We've had the risk of a test of 2280, the May support, for quite some time. Looks as though that will happen given the way that the 50-day line at 2354 is falling, and we had that bull trap through it last week as well. Below 2280, the next level down is 2250, but probably at this stage not really expecting lower than 2280 for this market. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with our exploration, which seems to finally have cracked it in terms of both the share price and the fundamentals. Here we had that bear trap reversal, gap reversal just the other week, and making good progress within this sort of rising bull flag. That suggests we are very strong indeed. Minimum here at 29 pence, and then I suppose after that we can look for a new target. I don't want to jinx it at this stage, but at least while we're above the 24 pence area, the floor of that flag, looking for 29 pence during July, and hopefully much more on that as well. On to Barron Oil, which is changing its name very soon, but in the meantime, boilers will be enjoying the way that we bounced off 0.08 pence and above the 50 and 200-day lines. That means we're still set up for a move up to the top of that rising trend channel, which I've been waiting for what seems like months at 0.13, and looking for that to happen by the end of next month. Nice bounce off RSI 50 as well, which is a leading indicator on upside, and obviously we've held that uptrend line in the RSI window for which has been there since back in February. On to Clontarf, where suspicions that this was going to be the big move have so far happened. We've finally hit that target there at the top of the triangle, 0.07. Above that, looking for up to 0.11, in fact, by the end of next month, or even sooner than that. But the key here is making sure that we have more than just the one-day wonder rallies, which actually, I suppose, so far this week we have managed to do. On to a bit of a left field suggestion. Here it is, Celsius Resources. We've gapped up off the low after gapping down in April, so it's an island reversal, which tends to be a strong signal. If you look closely, you probably see that both the 50 and 200 day lines are rising, so it looks as though we're going into a golden cross. Run up to the golden cross tends to be the strongest part of the cycle. Initial target here at 0.85 by the end of next month, and best case scenario up to 1.1 pence over the course of the summer, maybe also by the end of next month. So it's a punchy call there. Obviously, we want to stay on the right side of 0.6 and the 50-day line in the meantime. On to one of my favorite situations, CapEx, largely because it's gone right, and that is the current situation is we're getting this consolidation. We call it consolidation flag, I suppose. We've got the rising 50-day line. We bounced off the level that I wanted this market to bounce off, which was 0.18, which was the previous target when we initially saw this at 0.1p. About 0.18, looking for 0.42 or 0.43 by the end of next month. So the longer this consolidation goes on, the more confident we are that we will break to the upside, especially while we're above that initial 0.18 target. On to a stock which surprised me, I have to say, ECR Minerals. All the interviews and all the PR, and the shares are actually, after a little bull trap through the 50-day line at 0.28, they've actually broken out of that rising trend channel from September. Hopefully the downside will be no greater than 0.2, but if you're looking for a buying trigger, that would be a break of that April resistance line there at 0.29. In the meantime, we have the chance of a breakdown towards 0.2. Uptrend line in the RSI window has also been broken, which is obviously disappointing, and because that's been in place since basically a year. So, as I said, disappointing situation unless the shares can get back above the upper 0.2s very quickly. Moving on to Longboat, and here the share is still feeling the benefit of the 100k director purchase, 100k pounds, that is, not 100k shares, heading very quickly towards our target there. Well, the initial target there was the top of the falling trend channel from July last year at 19 pence. The next target, 28 pence, hopefully by the end of next month, or the way things are going, much sooner than that. In fact, the double gaps down and then the double gaps up, very, very strong signal indeed. That's probably about the strongest you could get. So an island bear trap reversal, double island bear trap reversal on Longboat. On to Maytech, which had an announcement this morning, and here you can see that we've ricocheted off the sharply rising 50-day line there at 15 pence. Initial target here was that line there from back in September, around 16 to 17 pence. Above that, we're looking for the upper parallel of that triangle as high as 23 pence by the end of next month. So above the 50-day line at 15, looking for 23 on Maytech. On to Roadside Retail, which had an announcement today as well. You can see we've gapped up again, and the view here is that the longer we stay above recent support there at 11 pence, the greater the chance not only of the first target there at 14, but up to 23 pence by the end of next month. The gap suggesting now that we will start accelerating. We've also had double, triple bounces above the RSI 50 level as well, so it looks as though the price action there well set. On to SRT, which I've been covering of late as well, and here we've got a V-shaped bull flag heading for that initial target there at 36 pence, which hopefully, well, in fact, that's the second target. The first target was 23. Next target, 36 pence, and if you're a fan of the shares and looking for even more, then it would be up to 53 pence, maybe on a 2-month view, maybe by the end of August, something like that. But looks like a great turnaround there. We're a very sharp one as well on SRT. On to another stock which is disappointed, not a great RNS today, but as you can see, we have the shares potentially just about within, well, they're just breaking down below the floor of that broadening triangle. That level there around the 0.17 level, so an end of day close back below that would basically nullify the potential turnaround there for the shares, and obviously we could go much lower. The potential target there, the resistance line that I'm drawing there towards 0.05, but let's see how we settle down for the end of day today, whether it's below 0.17 or not. Finishing off with Water Intelligence, which I don't think anybody looks at all, and here you can see that we have the chance of a decent breakout. The shares have been consolidating well. I suppose it's a sort of like a W-shaped turnaround. We've got a rising trend channel there from January, and while we're above the floor of the channel there around £4, looking for up to £5.40 perhaps as soon as the end of next month. We've got RSI bounces above the neutral 50 level, so that suggests a lot of price action strength there, and let's see if Water Intelligence can come up with the goods. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.